Hey there, welcome to the channel. So today we are delving into this article from Fox News published on 21st of 2025 because number one, lest we forget that the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said that Epstein client list is sitting on my desk, in quotes. And she told this to Fox News, and to be honest, I can't forget it. I just can't sit here and say, you know what, okay, we're just going to take the lies. No, 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 no. So this article, like many others around that time, presents a specific narrative regarding the Jeffrey Epstein case. However, when you look at the full picture being represented across all various sources, well, they want to put it like it's a complex and very mysterious kind of story that's fomenting itself. But the more they do this, the more conspiracy theory becomes a much more credible source or much more credible way of looking at it in terms of there are forces and there are people conspiring to or for a specific goal or towards leading the story or shifting their zeitgeist into a certain direction or a specific direction. And this here stinks of conspiracy. Anyway, let me not waste time. Let's get into that. Let's get into the article. So Pam Bondi said, Epstein list is sitting on my desk right now and is reviewing also the JFK and MLK files. Whoa. Right now, we're all focused on the Epstein list. But you know what? I think it's also high time we start asking also for the JFK and the MLK files. I think the JFK files were revealed, but even those ones were a bit, how can I say, also redacted in a way. But let's ask for also the MLK files. And I mean, we want to see, at the end of the day, I'm curious, how is she going to lie again? I think she will. So at this point, I find this American administration very interesting. I think in a span of less than 6 months, they've managed to not only, well, they boost the faith of the people in terms of dealing with immigration, but then everything else, oh my goodness, all the promises they actually made, especially administrative-wise in terms of not going to wars, well, that didn't work out. And now there's this one. So I'm curious, what next? But again, there's a part of me that thinks we're starting to see the true nature and true colors of this administration from now on. And in the next, I'd say, 3-4 years, things are going to be very, very interesting. And to be honest, I do not expect any kind of authenticity or truth or some of the things they actually promise to actually come to fruition. Anyway, let's continue here.
I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
She heard that question correctly, if I'm not wrong. Jeffrey Epstein's client list. Let me go back again, because this is very important to actually note, because she will gaslight us. Like there's no cameras. She will gaslight us. Like we can't pull up footage from February and actually play it and actually find out what was being asked of her and what was being expected from her. This is not only from Pam Bondi. I think also Kash Patel, that's the director for FBI, also has the same problem. It's like all of them are working in concert, and it was all about just publicity and just getting there by any means necessary. Let's again listen to that question that's being asked.
Yes. Will that really happen? Alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients?
So the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients, I've written that down. I shall actually, in quotes, use it as evidence later on once we actually see what just happened just a few days ago and how she handled this whole situation. Anyway, let's continue.
Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files.
She really doubled down on it.
It's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you. Madam
Yes, we will.
Attorney General, Pam, great to spend time with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Fox News here is saying the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Friday said, Jeffrey Epstein client list is sitting on my desk right now. And she reviewed the JFK and MLK files as well after President Donald Trump earlier directives. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. Pam Bondi told America Reports host John Roberts on Friday. That has been a directive by President J. Trump. Bondi also stated that she's reviewing the JFK and MLK files, okay, that one we've already covered, which the president signed an executive order to declassify at the start of his second term. So she was also asked, has she seen anything which is, how can I say, wow? Responded, not yet. Trump's return to the Oval Office came with the prospect of the public finally being able to see Epstein's long-awaited Black Book amid inquiries into the deceased financiers and sex trafficker. Epstein, a 66-year-old millionaire financier with a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands and mansions around the country, died in federal custody in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Bondi herself advocated for the release of the Epstein list in 2024, telling Sean Hannity at the time, come out long time ago. Let's see.
Now, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi and criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos. Good to have you both. Pam, let's get your take on this release. What does it mean to you?
Well, it's trickled out, Sean. It's trickling out. First of all, it should have come out a long time ago. Professor Dershowitz wanted it out. And by the way, he is one of the best attorneys in this country. I know him. I know his wife. That's a great family, and they've been dragged through hell on this. I want to know why AG Garland and the Justice Department are so quiet on this tonight. You know, they're out there labeling parents domestic terrorists, yet they're saying nothing about this. And these documents were so slow to come out. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead. And Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years where she belongs. And if people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant by some chance against some potential case against Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think Mark Garagos, as a great criminal defense attorney, will back that up as well.
You know, Mark, let me go to you. There are a lot of people that Professor Dershowitz has represented that frankly, I never liked and really don't understand why he would take on these high-profile cases. You're just like Professor Dershowitz. You've taken on a lot of high-profile cases, and I know you've paid a pretty dear price for representing people with the belief that everybody has a right.
Anyway, so it seems that she was all for releasing these documents, and I don't know what happened. The tone changed, yeah? The tone changed. I think something tells me the search for power is very different from actually being in a powerful position. And it's one of those cases where right now, I don't think they care anymore. Like, we're already here, man. They didn't release this list, or why she even alluded to actually having such a list. If there was no list, when you're being asked about the list of Jeffrey Epstein's client, then correct the language or correct the reporter and actually say, no, it's not Jeffrey Epstein's client's list. It's documents or it's files. But she didn't. She just went with it, you know. But again, also, it clearly shows how power-hungry people are. I think it was a case where they were using all means necessary to get into the administration. So let's continue. Now, the article continues. Shortly after kicking off his second term, Trump signed an executive order to declassify files on the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert F. Kennedy, and the civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr. There is Epstein. Everything will be revealed, Trump told reporters as he signed the order in the Oval Office. So Trump actually promised during the campaign to declassify the documents upon entering his second term, saying at the time, when I return to the White House, I will declassify and unseal all JFK assassination-related documents. It's been 6 years. Time for the world to know the truth. I don't know. My theory is that the list is there, and the problem is, as I've mentioned in one of my videos before, that client list is not a small one. Jeffrey Epstein is what P. Diddy is to hip hop. Jeffrey Epstein was that in the financial and political world. How P. Diddy was hosting a lot of entertainers, and entertainers used to come and party at his place. Jeffrey Epstein was that, but in the financial world and in politics. And if that list was to see the light of day, I think it would probably crash the markets. It would probably tank the markets. On top of tanking the markets, it might actually end up exposing way more than what the Americans actually expect, and might actually even reduce or absolutely tank the confidence the country has in any administration, be it the Democrats or the Republicans. Because, I mean, what if you see that most of the politicians that were actually against each other at a particular time are basically hanging out together in that island? I don't know. I'm just assuming. Here's even an archive footage of Trump partying with Jeffrey Epstein in 1992. The body language says it all. Like that, there's a certain body language you have with someone who, how can I say, they're not merely acquaintances only. And I don't know, it's almost like you're being chummy with high school buddies, kind of. Like, it looks like that, you know? Very interesting. What are the comment sections saying? Who's here after the Trump administration declared that there is no Epstein list? Well, I am. Jeffrey has that Joker creepy smile from ear to ear. Yeah, because he pretty much knows that he's pretty much setting most of these people up, and they do not know what is about to hit them. Wow. Epstein's body language and confidence, showing that he didn't have to dress up for the occasion, says he had leverage on the top end of society from way back then. Very, 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 very observant. That's very astute, man. Like, that's actually interesting. Yeah. Trump is wearing a suit. The other guy is also wearing a suit, but Epstein is just wearing a shirt. That's actually an interesting observation. So fast forward, and the good thing is, now you actually have all two of the, how can I say, the parties who were responsible for this whole case, or this whole situation whereby, hey, you're going to release the Epstein client list. Now, let's see what they're saying right now.
You go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along.
Come on. Dude, I don't know. This is a clear case of we were not born yesterday. Because that would be the only explanation as to why you would actually say something like that. You actually think we were born yesterday. Nah, man. Here.
You know, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK.
She did not correct, or she didn't interject and say, because she says JFK files, MLK files. She did not interject and say Jeffrey Epstein's files. No, she went with the whole list. We want the list.
K files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay.
And now this? Come on.
Up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response.
Not only the client list, because I wrote it here. The list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. That was what was asked by the Fox News reporter.
Was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent.
These guys are hiding a lot. So yes, the minute, yeah. Very curious about that. Please lie to us again.
The video we released a day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Looking for it or working on every other recording to remove a minute from all the other recordings. I'm done. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.